Cakes, banners and balloons. It sounds like the makings of a great birthday party, but this was a rather more unconventional celebration.
Morgana Sin raised a few eyebrows when she threw a party after her 11-year-old daughter started her period.
A step too far, maybe? Someone who thinks so is Lebby Eyres, and she's here alongside Morgana right now. Good morning to both of you. So this actually isn't particularly a new thing. If you look at Tamil societies in India and Sri Lanka have held coming-of-age ceremonies. The Navajo people, they have a 4-day ritual for girls who begin menstruation. In Japan, families make a nod to their daughter's first period by serving a certain dish. So really, we're late to this period party.
Yes, we are.
And what made you decide to do it?
Nothing scarier than a late period.
That is true.
I mean, for me personally, the reason that I decided to do this for my daughter is because I wanted her to know that she was loved and supported by the family. And I thought it was just a great way to celebrate her entrance into womanhood. And I just really love the idea that you can talk openly about these matters, and she can come to me without feeling any embarrassment and none of the stigma associated with menstruation.
What happens at the party? Who comes? Who's invited?
For my daughter's party, it was just the family. I have other children, so I have 3 boys and I only have 1 daughter, unfortunately. And all I did was a cake. I bought her books as presents and sanitary pads and razors and body wash for her.
So the family all arrive and go, hey, hi, happy period. Is that what they do?
No, they didn't say happy period, but they were just like embracing her, like that. They were proud of her that she was going into womanhood. Like, we just saw it as a transition.
And also, it makes you use the word period. You've got young boys to be able to talk about it openly. It can only be a good thing. I mean, I remember when I was at school not that long ago, people didn't really talk that openly about periods. You know,
well, I joined this show. They absolutely didn't.
You weren't really allowed to say it, I don't think.
You couldn't say the word.
You couldn't say the word. And I know my mum, like, of her generation, she used to call it her days. And I'd be like, what are these days? What are these things? And it was only later that I realised. So we are a little bit rubbish with this.
We are a little bit. We have to remember that we do have rituals and we have 13th birthdays. I think my problem with the period party is your child could be 9 or your child could be 15. And what do? They have 2 very different celebrations, and it's overwhelming when you get your period, you know, and it can be scary and it can be terrifying. And having a few cupcakes with marshmallows dipped in strawberry sauce on top of them is not going to help your child feel any better. And I agree, I'm all for the openness and the frankness. You know, my mum used to call sanitary towels STs, and we do have to be frank, but the last thing your 13-year-old child wants you to do is have a big party. You know, in my opinion, my daughter, she's independent. She wants to get on with it. You know, if she can take her money, go down to the shop, buy her own sanitary towels, buy her own tampons, then so much the better. She doesn't want her mum getting involved.
Bear in mind, and you obviously point out the difference that in ages, that when the girls start their periods. If you're in a school, and this is a very American idea,
yes,
the way doing it like this is very American. So in your class, all the girls have had their period parties, but you're the girl who's much later than everyone else. So doesn't that it just introduce an ingredient for more stress and more concern and more worry?
I think that it depends on the parent, because I don't think that they should pressure a girl or that she needs to feel pressure that she needs to do this. I think the parent really needs to be firm with their daughters and talk to them openly and make sure that they really want to do this, because it is something that's private and it's not something that everybody's going to be willing to do this.
But if it's happening in a school in America, and it is on the roll, you know, everybody's doing it, and that's the way it's now done, and that one girl who is in that class and hasn't started a period, bearing in mind how much pressure there is on social media, that then it looks to me like a recipe for extra bullying. Oh, ready for your party yet? You know, that just seems like it could be the way it will be spun.
It's a good question, and it's hard to really say, because, like I said, I look at it very positively, because my daughter did have a good experience, and if you look at her picture, she's smiling and she's beaming with pride, but it's really hard to say what a child who's feeling pressure would think in this situation.
I mean, it's exactly that. We're kind of oversharing. We have an oversharing culture as it is. And, you know, we've seen images on Instagram and on Facebook of these period parties. And I think, you know, that the child, if the child is 15 and, you know, still hasn't got her period, it will make them feel stressed and tense. And I think it is different to the 13-year-old party when, you know, everyone in the school year is turning 13 at some time, or when they're 16. You know, we have to teach our children that it's okay to be private. You know, they can talk about periods openly, and that's important, but it's okay not to have to tell everybody that, you know, they're on their period, or, you know, it's okay not to put it on Instagram that you've started your period, you know.
Do you think, as well, you know, if you put in sort of hashtag period party, the things that come up that you can buy now, is this just commercialisation of a period where, you know, there's just more to buy? It's another thing to market and make money from.
And that's the unfortunate thing, because as it gains popularity, it does become more commercialized. And it loses the meaning behind it, like the original meaning behind it. For me, it was supposed to be a positive experience, and it's just something that was with the family. Just to, like I said before, just to show her that we love her and support her and celebrate her womanhood. But yeah, that is the problem, that when it becomes popular, it does become commercialized. And it, like I said, it loses the meaning afterwards.
Yeah.
Children have enough parties as it is, I think, and the pressure on parents with the extra expense to have another party, you know, and also, what do you do at a period party? You know, are you playing pass the parcel with, you know, a box of tampons, or, you know, pinning the sanitary towel on the donkey? You know, that's what a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old might be doing at a party. A 13 or 14-year-old wants a very different kind of party.
What about what happens here with the boys?
I mean, with the,
what's their party?
I have a boy, actually. I have a son that's 13 and my daughter that's going to be 12 next month. So they're both going to puberty at the same time. And there is a stark difference between the two. I mean, my boy is starting to get, his voice is starting to get, like, he gets these little cracks. He's getting taller. But it's not so obvious as my daughter. Like, her body's developing more, and she has, of course, menstruation. But I think with the boys, if they do decide to do a party, it would be more like a coming-of-age party, I think. If they feel left out, I think that would be something that's an option.
Well, Lorraine says, my daughter would be horrified if I did this. The last thing she'd want is everybody knowing about it.
Tina says, I'm all for being open and talking about these things, but this is too much.
Tani says, I appreciate the concept, but I don't think it should be aired for everyone. It's a private matter.
Mel says, I'd have been so embarrassed if my mum did this for me.
And Natasha says, we don't go around telling everyone monthly when we get our period. It's not taboo. It's just people don't want to know. It's a bit weird to throw a party. I mean, it does suggest that actually maybe we still need to be more normalised around talking about periods. All right. Thank you both anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you.